Hello friends, welcome to Kumar IAS. So we were studying the political science series for civil services mains examination, and we completed the part 1 of paper 1 part A, Western political thought. We completed, and I hope that you enjoyed those lectures. Still, if you have doubt, please do ask in the comment box. I will personally answer all the queries regarding Western political thought. So now we are going to study the next topic of paper 1 part A, that is political theory, and it is quite important. We can see that in previous years regular questions are being asked from the political theory. 2020 questions I didn't include. 2019 mains question on resurgence of political theory, then 2018 question on decline of political theory, and then 16 post behavioral approach. In 15, David Easton's system analysis. In 14, the political theory not escape mechanism but an arduous calling. Then 13, value pluralism and original position. And 12, normative versus empirical approach. 2011, behavioral revolution. So we can see that how important this topic is. Every year it fetches marks to you. So we'll try to cover this topic into depth. Still, if you have some doubt, please do ask in the comment box. I will personally answer all the queries and questions. So without much delay, आज की कथा को शुरू कर दें. So political theory basically, as I also told you when I was teaching Western political thought, that every thinker is child of his time. It basically means that the prevailing situation of any society, they influence the thought process of that particular time, and the intellectual class of that time, the scholars, political scholar, they try to theorize the political phenomena, and they just try to build their theories and give their solutions, so to say, of that particular political situation to come out of that particular difficulty. So as Sabine says that the main purpose of political theory is the explanation of political phenomena, and political phenomena related to particular time and space. So that is the main purpose of political theory, to explain the political phenomena with respect to particular time and space. And according to Sabine, it deals with the disciplined investigation of political phenomena. Disciplined investigation, not chai pe charcha. That we are just thinking that okay, UP elections are there, or 4 or 5 state elections are there. कौन जीतेगा, कौन हारेगा, कौन सी कास्ट किसको वोट देगी. That sort of discussion is political discussion, but it basically comes into the category of political theory if there is disciplined investigation. That means there is academic rigor, there is systematic analysis, not some kind of haphazard views of personals and individuals. That does not fall under the category of political theory. And then political theory is divided into 2 approaches. The one is philosophical and the another one is scientific. Philosophy basically means that norms, values. For example, in Plato gave theory of justice. And scientific means it comes with the scientific rigor, and scientific rigor basically means the systems, analysis of the systems, the facts, all these things which brings some kind of objectivity. Scientific basically means with larger objectivity. You can observe the phenomena, you can deduce some conclusions based on some objective parameters. So that's what political theory in nutshell means. Now, from civil services mains point of view, the area and scope, and utility and significance, you can say, most of the questions are being asked from this area. What is the nature, what is the utility and significance of political theory. So political science is one of the oldest discipline. It is treasure of wisdom. And Plato is called father of political philosophy. And Aristotle is called father of political science. Why so? Because Aristotle is the first person who brings sort of realism, or correctly, if I can call it, more objectivity or practicality. Aristotle was basically more practical. So that's why Aristotle is called father of political science, because politics is not utopia. Politics does not operate in vacuum. Politics does not operate in vacuum. Politics depends very much on the systems, in the pretext it is operating, in the background it is operating. Politics very much depends upon that. Politics is not only about theories. And Aristotle was the first person who sort of gave the the tinge of practicality to the political theory, we can say. That's why he is called the father of political science. Plato in his approach was quite idealistic. That's why he is called father of political philosophy, because deals with ideas, and philosophy basically deals with ideas, idealism, norms, values, etc. So that's why there is difference between Plato and Aristotle's designation. Aristotle calls political science as master science. Why? Because Ernst Barker says, we can deduce why he calls master science. Ernst Barker says that political science is the master science from which all other applied sciences take their clue. And moreover, master science is called because it is necessary for the statecraft. And statecraft is the key education, you can say, or the key skill for running the state. And state is the keystone of any social architecture. Any society, it is run by the state, or at least we can say the state is the overarching structure or the keystone of any society. And for running the state, you need statecraft. And for statecraft, you need political science or political theory, for that matter. And economy or geography or science, for that matter, everything comes under the state. For example, we see Department of Science or Department of Atomic Energy, or for that matter any other department. It comes under Government of India. Government of India, it is not the state, but it is running the Indian state. And for running Government India, you need to win elections in every 5 years. And for winning the elections, you must understand the political structure of Indian society. And if you win the election, you can rule the country. Okay, so the political structure comes at the base. If you can understand society, if you can win the popular votes, if you can come into the power, then in a sense science, economy or atomic and whatever department, everything comes under you. So that means all other sciences are just dependent on political science. That's what the rationale of Ernst Barker is when he says that it is the master science from all other applied sciences take their clue. And it is necessary for the statecraft, and the statecraft is the most important craft. Statecraft is the most important, you can say, skill. From that skill you can control everything else. So that's why political science is the master science. भाई हम जिस सब्जेक्ट को पढ़ रहे हैं उसकी तो बड़ाई करेंगे ना डेफिनेटली. सो वी जस्ट हैव टू गिव when it comes, political science is basically criticism. It is the most democratic discipline. So criticism is part and parcel of political science. When we say political science, criticism is inherent in the nature of political science. But still, when we are studying the meaning and approaches, when we are studying utility and significance, we definitely try to give maximum positive points for political science. After all, यही तो हमें मार्क्स दिलाएगा. On the lighter note, political science को अच्छे से पढ़ने से we can get even good marks in the examination. So that is also the utility of political science. Let's move on. So political science is interdisciplinary and dynamic. Why? How we can say that it is interdisciplinary and dynamic? Because we see political economy, we see environmental politics. No need to explain that the negotiations at every year there is COP, the conference of parties, and there are different conventions, and there are politics over greenhouse gas emissions, and then there are negotiations on net zero carbon emission. So this politics is always going on at the world stage, at the stage of UN. So environment intersects with political science definitely. Then we can say that personal is political. That phrase we will study in feminism. So feminism also intersects with political science, because political science definitely dwells into your personal sphere. Political science in fact enters from your bedroom. Okay, we are studying the debate around marital rape. So all these issues, political science does not leave any sphere of life, whether it is science, whether it is economy, whether it is environment, whether it is personal sphere. So from bedroom to the boardroom of United Nations, which is the at least most universal existing political institution. How much effective or not, those all are different debates. So political science goes from bedroom to the boardroom of United Nations. That means it is the universal discipline, we can say, in a sense, and all other disciplines have some sort of intersection with political science. Environment, personal spheres, social, and then we can say economic. No matter what you name, political science has some sort of interaction with that. Then we can say definitely that political science is a hybrid discipline, and it is the most democratic of all disciplines. Why? Because criticism is the inherent grain. It is just the DNA, in the DNA of political science, criticism. In fact, even in our answers, until and unless we give proper criticism, our answer is not complete. So that's why it is said that political science is the most democratic of all the disciplines, because the critical analysis, the principle of falsification, these all are completely ingrained in the political science. And then what are the scope and subject matter boundaries, we can say, what are the boundaries till which the political science goes. So the boundaries of political science, they are quite changing, and that's why we say that it's a dynamic discipline. In the ancient times, it was quite multidisciplinary. For example, we take the example of book Republic of Plato, in which the subtitle is concerning justice, and it is a book of political science. Why? Because it is a book of statecraft in a sense. But the same book deals with the ethics, how, theory of justice, and family, statecraft. No need to explain how the theory of philosopher king. So we can see that it's very much multidisciplinary. It's going from the personal sphere to the universal sphere, in a sense, to the state. Then in medieval times it lacked independence and it just became subdiscipline of religious studies. Medieval times are also called dark ages, so in which the discipline lost its independence, and in modern times it is very much autonomous. It is a separate discipline altogether. Especially post World War II, there is focus on the politics as process, and that is due to the effect of behavioralism. Behavioral movement, we'll study it in detail in upcoming lectures, or in the under the same heading, like political theory, meaning and approaches. Then the study of third world political systems and the comparative politics, empiric approach, growth of political philosophy again, the Rawls theory of justice, the Habermas theory of deliberative democracy, the postmodernism, knowledge power connection, Thomas Kuhn's concept of the structure of scientific revolution book. This is the book, The Structure of Scientific Revolution by Thomas Kuhn. And then theories are just interpretations, and political science as interpretive discipline, as called by the postmodernist scholars. And then we can see that theory and practice of international politics, that also comes. So that is also developing post World War II. So these all are developments post World War II. Don't worry, you may not have understood many of these terminologies at this point, but no need to worry, because everything I mentioned here will come later on, and I will explain everything word by word into detail. What does it mean? Postmodernism, Rawls theory of justice, Habermas theory of deliberative democracy, postmodernism, knowledge power connection, international politics we will study. Then Thomas Kuhn, the structure of scientific revolution, theories as interpretations, and then empiric approach, third world countries, behavioralism, everything we'll study. No need to worry. Here just remember that these all are developments post World War II, because we are studying this into chronological order. So that's why here all these things should be mentioned, that what was in ancient times, then what was medieval times, and what were in modern times. And what is the nature of political theory? Nature, scope, and methods. Everything is changing about political theory. Political theory means dynamic. This word should be universal word in itself. जब भी पॉलिटिकल थ्योरी को एक्सप्लेन कर रहे हो, कहीं भी नेचर पूछे, स्कोप पूछे, मेथड पूछे, जो भी बोले, बोलो भाई डायनेमिक है, हमेशा चेंज हो रहा है, ठीक है. एंड इट इज in phase 1 it was just subdiscipline of philosophy, for example justice, rights, and we studied Plato's book of Republic. Then came, like in dark ages or the medieval times, it just lost the independent nature. There was no independent existence. Existence was not there. And then came behavioralism, in which the nature became pure science, mad craze for data, mad craze. Few scholars, like they just say that bring facts, and facts. So overemphasis on science, we'll study it into detail, don't worry. Then the nature in post behavioralism came of applied science but with norms and values. So this is nature in the different phases of political science, and then we'll study the different approaches of political science. For example, traditional approach, and in traditional comes philosophical and historical, then empirical, then legal, constitutional or institutional, then the two declines of political theory, the first decline and the second decline. Then after traditional comes modern approaches, behavioral approach number 1, and then we'll study criticism of behavioralism, then we'll study the achievements of behavioralism, and then comes the second of approach, post behavioralism, and that will sum up our title of political theory, meaning and approaches. So I hope that you are enjoying the lecture. It was just introductory lecture of political theory, meaning and approaches. In the upcoming 1 or 2 lectures, we'll complete the title, the heading of political theory, meaning and approaches, and then we'll step by step dwell into the another topics, and we'll try to cover every topic of the syllabus of political science as soon as possible. If you have any doubt in any lecture or you do not understand, please do ask in the comment box. We'll personally answer them. We hope that you are enjoying our lectures. So if you like them, please do like and subscribe our channel and spread these lectures like wildfire, because everybody cannot afford the costly coachings in Delhi. Thank you so much for coming to S. Kumar IAS.